Hey guys, welcome back to Driven Channel. Really excited here because I have I'm really proud of you. You and your wife, just like me and my wife, you work together.
Yes, sir.
You build a big roofing company, Preferred Roofing.
Yes, sir.
And you're 32.
Yes, sir.
And this year, like you're almost at 100 million in revenue. Like you're getting there.
God willing, man. That's the goal. Within the next year, I want to hit.
Now,
those
now,
figures.
before we get started, so your wife's from Colombia.
Yes, sir.
You're from El Salvador.
Yes, sir.
Like how did you guys meet? And talk about who is Pablo? Who's Pablo?
Okay.
And did you know you were gonna be in this position?
Okay.
At 32.
So basically, me and my wife met at Georgia State University. Me and her are first generation college students. We graduated, got our degree in marketing, and me as a personal individual, I always wanted to be successful. I come from a low income family. My parents never had career jobs. They worked at grocery stores all their lives. And that's why I went to school, because I wanted a better future and I wanted to be an attorney.
Yeah.
I always knew I was going to be successful in my head because I always liked nice things. I wanted a better life for my mom, my dad. So I knew I had to make it one way or another. And Don Pablo is the CEO of Preferred Roofing Supply. We've been in business for 11 years. We cater to the Georgia market, and we're roofing distributors. We're not contractors. So we sell the material to contractors. We're like a mini Home Depot that specializes in roofing. We have all the tools. We carry siding, ladders, everything they need for residential roofing products, we sell.
Yeah. Because I mentor a lot of roofers. But you just told me, we were talking before we started, and that you're not an actual roofer. You sell to roofers.
Yes, sir.
So like a lot of roofers that I mentor, they make 6 million, 8 million, and they make good income, 6 million, 8 million. But now I know that, so it looks like the money is in supplying. So like what was your genius? Like, where'd you get this information where you were like, instead of being a roofer, I'm gonna become like a mini Home Depot, which you could become a massive Home Depot for roofers, right?
Yes,
and you
sir.
could go nationwide, and then we're talking about billions.
Billions, yes, sir.
So what made you decide that?
Really, the thing is, me and my wife, we graduated college. She had plans to get her a master's, and I wanted to be an attorney. Like I said, her dad was in the construction industry, but he was repairing the tools, right? So he had the vision. I wanted to be an attorney. Never in my mind did it cross for me that I was going to be in construction. Why? Because I'm studying. I wanted to be clean. I wanted to wear a suit, a tie, the whole 9 yards, because that's what my parents told me success was, So anyways, I graduated school in May, and my father-in-law had this idea where he goes, hey, this guy doesn't have money to pay me for the tool repair. He left me this bundle, and fulano over here is buying it for $20. He goes, there's no supply house for Latinos. Like, we should start this, So essentially, he planted the seed in us, and we watered it. So from May and October, me and my wife were like, yo, I'm not going to go to law school. Let's go all in on this, because if we're kind of going to do this, it's never going to grow. Let's set up hours. We formed Preferred Roofing Supply, did all the paperwork, did our percentages, and we took off from there, man.
So like roofing something that everybody's going to need, right? And do you get a lot of repeated customers that, you always have customers because people always need a roof, right?
Yeah, so when we started, man, we didn't know anything about roofing. We didn't know what 3-tab was, shingle. We were never roofers. My father-in-law didn't know anything about the roofing material either, but he knew that there was a demand for it, right?
Yeah.
So the crazy thing is, we had to learn by asking our customers. And me and her were like, do people need roofs every day? Like, are they going to need roofs? And every day people were just showing up like they were buying pan caliente, you know what I mean? Like, every day people were buying roof, and we're like, wow, this is going to be a good business.
Yeah.
Every day people would come, they got to do a repair. The same guy would come every day for repairs. Then the guy that's doing the big roofs, he would come 3 times a week to buy jobs, projects. So it was an industry that we had no expectations. So I think that's why we were blessed too, because we never gave up, because we didn't know what to expect.
Yeah.
And we were learning and learning and learning. This goes with that. People like this brand. This is a good customer. People want deliveries. Oh, we didn't even know people wanted deliveries. We didn't have a truck. People were like, hey, can you take it to my job now? And we're like, I thought you can't pick it up. They're like, no, it's heavy,
Yeah.
We had a pallet jack to start off. We didn't have a forklift.
So the first year, 11 years ago, like when you started, like who's the company? Like, is it just
me and my wife?
Just you and your wife?
And my father-in-law was repairing his tools at a different location.
But what were you? You were
I was
distribution.
the fuerza. I was the muscle, So my wife would do all the sales, write the receipts, talk to the customer, and I would get the orders ready. And then eventually when we did deliveries, I would go. We got a box truck, and I would go hand unload the shingles at the houses for people. So I would do like 4 deliveries a day. I did that for like 2 years. So she was, the sales, taking the orders down, and I was doing sales too, but I had to do a lot of the brute force.
Where did you get the money though to buy the materials that you were selling?
Like I told you, I told you before. So before, the material, roofing is expensive, right? No one does supplies because you need a lot of money to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So we started with scraps. A roofer, the subcontractor, would have a bundle left over, and he would bring that bundle. We'll buy it for $10 instead of him throwing it away because it was left over.
Yeah.
And then another guy would buy it for $20, and eventually we had a whole bunch of junk everywhere. And then from flipping all that junk, we eventually were able to buy from the legit distributors, and we started growing our money.
But when you started, like, how much money did you have?
Initial investment was probably like $5,000. I didn't have the money. My father-in-law blessed us with initial investment of like $5,000, and we flipped it and kept flipping it, and eventually it grew. Thank God.
So the first 12 months, how much money did he make? Did the company make?
We weren't making anything,
But in gross revenue and sales.
In sales, man, our first year we killed it. We did like $1 million, I believe, close to $1 million.
So from $5,000 you started and you made $1 million?
Yeah, it was amazing. It was a blessing because there was a need for Latinos to have a place where they can go shop comfortably. The subcontractor was neglected. We kind of created a market for the subcontractor, which is the guy that was on the roof 11 years ago. No, they didn't speak English. They didn't have nowhere to go. They go to ABC, SRS, or Beacon and talk to John, and John would be like, what is this guy saying? Or make him feel uncomfortable and charge him a price that was higher than they would charge his boss. You know what I mean? So we created a place where these guys can come, save money, feel comfortable, negotiate with them, speak their language, and it spread like wildfire. Like, they told their friends, everybody that was coming to America probably that was getting into roofing came to our store. You know what I mean? And we just ran with it, man, and we took off, thank God. So it was a blessing, word of mouth, and obviously you have to create these fans. If I was an asshole, no one would come to me. I was obviously good at sales, catering, giving everyone the best service I could. My wife was doing that as well. If we told someone we're going to deliver tomorrow at 8, we would be there at 8. And if we couldn't, we would tell them because, we couldn't serve everybody either. We only had one truck, and that truck could only do 4 deliveries a day.
And how much would you make in each delivery, more or less, back then?
I mean, we're probably making like 20% margins. 20% margins.
But how much was the sell, like, for a delivery? Like, how much?
So minimum roof job back then was probably costing a stack. With all the components that you need for roofing, the shingle, material. Now with inflation, we're looking at minimum 3 stacks, 3.5.
Yeah.
Because materials up, everything's more expensive. But
what's a stack?
$1,000. Sorry about that. Sorry, man.
Yeah.
$1,000. But in the beginning, we didn't do deliveries for a whole year because we couldn't afford the truck, so people were just picking up. They'll pick up half the load. And eventually, the neighbor sold us his truck. He had like a painting company, sold us his truck, and then I would do deliveries. Then year 3, we hired 2 people to do deliveries for us, and I was staying in house now, and those guys flipped the truck.
Yeah.
And then we got sued, workers' comp, and this is only year 3 in business, and we're only 25. We get hit with lawsuits, So all this stuff that's happening, we're just learning. Part of the game. We're learning and growing, and that's why now, stress is part of my life. I can't get away from it. Yeah. I'm always working. I'm always stressed. I'm always pressured, but hey. I wanted this, I prayed for this.
Yeah. But you're gonna make close to 100 million. So what stress do you have?
Stress is a lot of moving pieces now. The bigger you get, the more people that you have to administer, a bigger team.
Yeah.
Create more leaders, which is one of the hardest things, and create people that want to grow with you. Nowadays people hop jobs every month. They're like, someone's paying me $2 more. They don't see the potential of going with you. They're just in the interest of now. They want now.
So you're the operations person. You're
the CEO, the visionary, the operations.
So you're a CEO operator.
Yeah. So me, that's another thing we struggled with delegating at first because we were just so like.
Are you a better CEO or a better operator?
I think CEO, because I tell her they got to pay me for my thoughts now.
Is he an operator? Or is he a good operator? Yeah. Is he a great operator? Like from a 1 to 10, what do you rate him operator? 8. And what about a CEO, visionary? 10. Okay, there's a book called Rocket Fuel. Mm-hmm. Have you read it?
No, I've heard of it.
Okay, read it.
I'm on traction right now.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So stop that book, and read Rocket Fuel. It'll take you like a day. You could even listen to it. It's maybe like 6 hours audiobook. If you listen to it at the 1.5 speed, you'll probably do it quicker. But read that book. So me and my wife, we go to Tom Bilyeu's house. You know Tom Bilyeu from Quest Nutrition? He sold it for $1 billion. So Tom Bilyeu and Lisa, we went up to their house right here, up the street. And we were at their house, and this was like 3.5 years ago. And I asked Lisa, hey, Lisa, do you guys ever fight and feel like beating yourselves up and almost get divorced and nightmares? And she's like, yeah, we went through that. But she said, you know what? What changed us, it changed our life when we read this book, Rocket Fuel. So they read that book, Rocket Fuel. And Rocket Fuel is all about like separating and identifying if you're a CEO or a COO. So sometimes there's confused CEOs and confused COOs, and they're best meant for one of the two. Yeah. So this book, you read it or listen to the audiobook. It's a good audiobook that you could listen to it. Yeah. Some books you have to read them. This one you could listen to it, but then if you go to the website, there's a test called the Rocket. I think it's the Rocket Fuel Assessment Test. So your wife can take it, you could take it, and then it's going to tell you, it's going to grade you on your visionary CEO grade, and it's going to give you a grade for operations. They call it the integrator. So you're going to know like what are you best fit for. So I think for you guys, the next step to like scale this even further is find out if you are better fit to be the CEO and focus only on that, which I think that's what you are. And then find an operator that is going to operate and you're going to let go of that so that the operator just focuses on the operations and you focus on driving the vision.
Yep. I think that's the hardest part, letting go, like you said, because, this is your baby and you never think someone can do what you do. You know what I mean? So honestly, until I had my kid 18 months ago, I was opening and closing the doors for my biggest branch, because I was like, this is not going to roll without me. And once he was born, it changed my perspective. I was like, bro, I'd rather be with my son than be there day to day, So now, since he was born, I haven't opened and closed the doors.
He was a baby when you went to the last
he was 6 months.
Business event, yeah.
So it's been he honestly blessed me because I feel like I would still be stuck in there if he wasn't born. You know what I mean?
So before we jump into family now and becoming a father and all that, when was the year, what year into your business were you when you made a lot of money where you're like, I made $1 million, I make $2 million, but when did you have your breakout year when you're like, oh shit, I made 10 million and the net was juicy and now I have more money than ever?
It just happened during COVID, I think 2020. Yeah? Do you agree? I think 2020 was like, we only had one branch back then. And out of nowhere, everyone's like, oh, we have to stop operations. We're like, no, we're essential. And once everyone found out we're essential, bro, roofing took off like crazy. We had 4 trucks at that time. We doubled to like 7 trucks in that 1 year. And then from there, we're like, we need another location. Let's open another location during COVID. And we got a second location. So I think 2020 was a year that helped us exponentially grow versus, I think we almost doubled in revenue that year. So it was truly a blessing, and we were able to keep up.
So where were you, and what did you do that year in revenue?
Let me ask my CFO. What do you think we were at?
2019 we did 14, and then 2020 we jumped up to about 30.
So we were at 14 mil, and we jumped to 30 mil, guys. So that was 2x, like it doubled, literally doubled. And then from there, we're like, wow, we had to get more trucks. We had to keep expanding. And it was a difficult year just because we couldn't get our inventory that we needed as well because COVID, everything was delayed. So, when we ran out of material, hey, we'll go to Home Depot and we would buy the material from Home Depot because Home Depot still had the material. Yeah. And we were still servicing our clients because we didn't want to lose them. If you lose those guys, they probably will never come back. So the goal was to find supply. We're struggling every day. But we made it happen, man. And that's what successful people do. They make it happen.
Yeah. So when you were there and you jumped from you more than doubled in COVID, how many did you increase also your sales force and your employees?
Yeah, so we had to increase. Drivers is a big deal because a driver is kind of like a pilot at a plane. If he's not there, then who's going to move the load? Yeah. Sometimes I would have to move the load. I don't even have a license, a CDL license. So, but anyways, that's the point. And then the inside sales reps had to double because we operate from 6 a.m. to 7 p.m. So that's a lot of overtime for one person. Some people don't want to work that long anymore. So we had to double that, and then everything doubled. You know, we had another branch, so we had to make another warehouse manager, another manager for the branch. So, and we're still growing. You know, it's still hard to build a team just because it's hard to find people that think like you, that want to work like you, operate like you. But we're getting bigger on our culture, and I think we'll get there sooner than later.
So when you became a father, what was the biggest change that happened to you in your business and personal life?
Business was day-to-day change because, you know, customers will walk in. Where's Paul? Where's Paul at? I need discount. Paul's not here. I'm going to leave. You get it? People were always looking for me. And then my employees were always looking.
Are you Paul or Pablo?
So I'm legally Paul. My dad's name's Pablo. I got baptized as Pablo at work because in Spanish, people are like, Paul? I'm like, bro, call me Pablo. Pablo. Yo me llamo Pablo because I don't like Paul. I don't like Paul. It's Paul or Pablo.
Yeah.
So I'm like, just call me Pablo. And then my name on Instagram came about because at first I didn't want my customers to find me because I was like, you know, some people might see the way you're living and be like, I don't want to shop there anymore. He made it. You get it?
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm going to call myself Don Pablo. But now it's like Floodwater. I'm opening it up. Everyone follows me, you know. I'm trying to motivate, inspire people. So I see it differently now. But at first I was like trying to hide. I would block customers, you know, being silly. But that's how Pablo came about.
Yeah.
So call me Pablo, Paul, whatever. But Instagram is Don Pablo's life.
Yeah, that's awesome. Mm-hmm. So what about at home? Like now that you have a baby, did you and your wife hire a nanny full time, or what changed there?
That changed for my wife too. So she's she works a lot from home.
Okay,
but she had to grow her team, you know, because she was doing the payroll, like I mentioned. She was doing the receivables, the payables, all that stuff. But now she's creating departments. You get it? So it forced her to step out and view, okay, I need a team now as well because she wants to spend time with the baby. We have her mom that's been a blessing, and she helps us a lot. But she only covers, you know, 2 or 3 hours out of the day so she can work. Mm-hmm. But, you know, like I said, the goal here is to create that team to give us more time.
Now, question, could be for both of you, but have you ever considered like hiring a full-time nanny so that your wife can be at the office again, like always?
So I tell my wife that all the time, but it's when she's ready, you know, because I tell her, but she doesn't feel ready yet. Yeah. But when the time comes, we both know that we're gonna need it if we want to keep growing. And I tell her, you know, it's either okay. If we have 2 kids, now you're gonna require you more time with the family. So it's either you get a nanny or, you know, we find a way to make you less responsible and your day-to-day reduces from the business, you know?
Yeah.
Because the business demands a lot from her still.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if it's a little bit different for your industry, but for us, like we just didn't have an option. Like when we had a baby, our first nanny was my mom. So my mom, we just hired her full time. So she was at the house the whole time. We would come down to the office, and then we hired. So it was my mom and Sil's sister, and we were doing that, and then 2, and then now 3. So it's just it's
4 now, right?
No, 3. Yeah,
3.
We have 3.
Okay,
yeah.
3.
Don't add anymore. Maybe I have one. Maybe I have a few out there.
Oh
but
Lord,
I don't know.
God bless.
Yeah,
well, that's awesome. Yeah,
but yeah, I mean, I think kids. They just make you better. They just make you value your time more wisely because all the time that you waste, it's like time you take away from your kids.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, like my kid just made me think of life differently now. Okay, now I have to I didn't have life insurance before. Now I got life insurance. So, you know, a lot of things have changed my thought process. You know, got to get all that trust, create a trust, all that good stuff now because I have a kid, you know?
Yeah.
Now it's not just you.
Yeah. So your typical work day, how does it look like? So you go to the office, you have to your locations, do you visit all 3 of them? Okay. And what is your do you dress casual or do you dress up?
No, so I dress casual, you know. Before you would see me in like rags because I would have to move the shingle. I was driving a forklift, getting sweaty. And eventually now you see me with clean sneakers, but I never used to wear clean sneakers to work just because the warehouse is dirty, you know. The granules are dirty, everything's dirty. It's a dirty job. But I dress casual. The way you see me I wear branded shirts that say Preferred, a hat. But my day-to-day, you know, typically I wake up at 5:30, and I'm already, my operations start at 5 because the truck drivers come in at 5 and leave by 6. Our store's open at 6, though. So as soon as I wake up, I'm already making sure all the trucks are out smoothly. Sometimes we have issues where the flat tire, the trucks won't start. So throughout the whole day, man, a lot of my problems are solved on the phone now. I don't have to physically be there. And I do go to the stores to make sure, everyone's in line, make sure I say hi to everybody. Doesn't matter if it's a warehouse guy or a driver, as long as they know I'm there, but I'm not there every day anymore. I'm not going to lie to you and tell you I go there every day, because I don't. I have a person that goes to all 3 branches for me, just because these branches are about an hour away. So I have that person in charge of that, but I am on my phone from 5 to 8 p.m. solving problems.
So you could work from anywhere?
Yeah, I can work from everywhere. So I'm always working. I could be anywhere, but I'm always working, just because I have my team set up in my stores. So I have a brick and mortar where people come in and shop, or it's all phone. Like, hey, I want to place an order for delivery tomorrow. So I can work from anywhere now, thank God, because I have a strong team.
So I know you like traveling a lot, right?
Mm-hmm.
Bora Bora and a bunch of different places. Mm-hmm. So let's say if you and your wife go, if your family, you take off to Bora Bora, mm-hmm. Can you be there for a month and still run your operations, your business?
Yeah, I think now we can be there for a month and our business will still flow. I think everything will go well. Obviously, I will still have to be working on my phone, like making sure, because I still do a lot. Like I do a lot of sales. A lot of customers just want to deal with me. These are mainly the accounts that I've handled for years. I do a lot of the buying. Like, hey, we ran out of this color. I got to see which supplier gives me the best pricing, negotiations. So I still do a lot. Truck breaks down. I handle it well with my mechanic. So I can still be in Bora Bora enjoying myself, but I still have to be on the phone a lot for now.
Yeah.
But I can be anywhere working.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And what does it consume your weekends too, or you have the weekends where you just relax?
No, so that's what makes us different from other suppliers. All the big 3 that I mentioned, the monopolies in America, they don't work Saturdays. Us as Latinos, we don't like days off. Mm-hmm. We work Saturdays. They close at 4, we close at 7. So we work harder and longer than the regular American stores per se. So Sunday's my only day off. But Sunday is me and her catching up, checking our bank statements, doing paperwork. So we still work, but a little bit on Sundays.
So why does Beacon, why do they charge people more and you charge people less? And is there something going on there? Or
those guys, I feel like, they're publicly traded, so they have to make more profit for all the investors. They have to look good on paper.
Yeah.
They have more overhead probably because payroll. They pay CEOs and all the chairmen, So I feel like that's where we have the advantage, where we're not that corporate yet. Mm-hmm. And negotiations quick. Like if a customer's like, hey, I'm paying $100 over here, can you help me out with pricing? It just goes my salesman, then me. I approve it quick.
Yeah.
But with them, they have to go to like 5 different people to get a price approved. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I feel like they're just too corporate, and we're more.
You're more nimble.
We're more nimble. We're smaller. We're quicker. We can, more personal service.
So what's your plan for the next 5 years? Are you gonna open up? Are you gonna double in size? Maybe 3 more locations, or you want to open up 10 more locations?
I never shared the vision with my team until this year, just because I always like doing things and then sharing it. You know what I mean? But this year I was like, I told the guys, I was like, 5 years, I have to have 10 locations. So you guys got to step it up. Either you're with me or
in 5 years.
In 5 years
from today.
Yeah.
From right now.
So right now we're working on our 4th one. We closed on that. We actually bought that little bit.
So you want to be at 10 locations total?
Yeah, in 5 years in Georgia, and then see where I go from there. Once I have 10 in Georgia, either I'm gonna go to another state, franchise, or cash out.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know where life's gonna. I never thought about cashing out or selling the business, but I've been approached already. But it's too soon. I feel like I can do way more, and I'm making great money. So why would I?
So somebody approached you and offered you something?
They've talked to me. I never showed them my numbers. They've been in my ear. It's the big 3. They've been in my ear, like, hey, la la la. Do you want to sit down? Send us your financials. We want to talk to you.
Do you know your multiplier right now?
I think the multiplier for our industry is like a 4, man. It's low, so I got to do more revenue. To
4 times the EBITDA, right?
I think 4. It's low. It's a low one.
More or less, yeah.
Yeah. So.
And is there a number that you would sell for?
Yeah. I mean, 30 to 50 million is what I'm shooting for. So I gotta increase my revenue.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Is there ups and downs in your industry? Like what you do, like supplying and roofs? Is there ups and downs? Like for example, real estate. Real estate has ups and downs. So real estate, it has like 6-7 years more or less where it's booming and everybody's making money. It's easy. And then they have like 2-3 nasty years where everything collapses. And then they fix it, kind of like trucking too. Trucking is like good economies, bad economies, and it affects a lot of other things. So in roofs, in that industry, do you have bad years and good, or is it always good?
So far in the 11 years we've been in business, it's always been steady. It's never been bad. We never done less in revenue for a year.
You don't have crashes.
We don't have crashes per se, but it's what very determined on weather. So if a year doesn't have storms or anything like that, you know, then it's going to be a slower year. Like our growth might be less than what we predicted. You know what I'm saying? But if I was in Texas, man, every year is going to be a great year. So many storms out there. You know, but I'm in Georgia. We don't have that
Why
many.
don't you guys move to
hailstorms.
Texas?
It's, you know, it's easy to say, but we have our roots in Georgia, our family there. You know, it's hard to do a big move like that. But one day, you know, I got a couple buddies that do what I do in Texas, and I've been talking to them, trying to see if we team up or do something.
What do you have to do to get licensed in Texas?
I mean, in Texas, I can just go there and put a supply house, but then again, it's like, all right, who's going to be the face of that branch? Why would this guy be?
Do you have any generals?
I have in generals in Georgia.
Do you have any mini Pauls?
In Georgia, yeah, my managers.
So do you have somebody that's like, so you have a few junior youths?
Yeah, I have.
So why don't you get one of those? I call them generals, and maybe well, I don't want to mess it up for your people here, but you tell them, hey, you know what? I'm going to give you equity, not right now, but I'm going to give you, you know, maybe a percentage or two, or start there of the company, and one day we'll sell, and you're going to get a big paycheck. Maybe you end up having more ownership. I don't know how that looks like, but we're going to build this company that's going to be worth X. We're going to sell for X. And this is the plan for the next 5 years. But I need you to move to Texas and start over there, start a new location there, and you run it. And then they go over there and you plant them over there. That's kind of like what Patrick Bet-David did. What he built generals, and then he started planting them. He sent one to Dallas. He sent another one to like Houston. He sent another one to like Florida, even one to Puerto Rico. And he started planting different generals. And that's how they started growing nationwide.
Yeah, I actually like that idea because I was talking to Sil out there, and she was telling me, "Oh, this is a partner in our escrow company. This is the owner of our real estate company." So I was asking her, "How do you guys do that?" She goes, "Albert handles that." But I see what you're saying. I like that because then people are more, they want to succeed, you know, and they're hungry. But it's also hard because you're like, "Oh, they want to," you know, it's hard to let go. But I think I have to do that to grow. You know, that's where I'm failing. I feel like because I have to share more so I can grow quicker.
Yeah, that's big. Like every company that I know that has sold for $1 billion or hundreds of millions, they've shared the company. Yeah, they handed equity to people that earn it. But the thing is, they call it phantom stock. So if you quit, you lose it. If you get fired, you lose it. And that's what people call golden handcuffs. So like 10 years ago, I hired Patrick Bet-David, and they paid him a lot of money back then for me, you know, but I got him at a discount, like major discount. And we had 4 sessions, and the sessions included dinners, going to his house and hanging out. So one of the main things was golden handcuffs. Like, how do you keep people? Because one of your top guys, is it mostly guys?
Actually, my leadership is girls. So the
That's
branch
good,
managers are girls, and then the warehouse managers are guys.
So one of your top people can one day be like, hey, you know what? I'm tired of dealing with Paul and like F Paul. I'm gonna leave. I already learned everything, and I'm gonna go start my own deal, and I'm gonna go become a competitor. So how do you keep them with you? You put golden handcuffs in them. So things that are too good that they don't want to leave. I've had people that hated me. I don't know for what, because I'm a nice person, but I guess I can get on people's skin because I'm direct and I have high expectations, and I don't know. So people hated me, but they still stayed in the company because they were getting they had golden handcuffs. Some of them had equity. Some of them had they were getting compensation because when they bring in somebody to the company, they get paid on that production. So they were getting a check for like $5,000 a month, $5,000 a month, $5,000 a month. So they're like, I could see them like, fucking Albert, like I hate that fucking but they wouldn't leave. They would
Yeah.
they would stay like for years. Like they wouldn't leave because they were getting that paycheck every month that would pay for their rent or their car, their bills. So it's good. It's good, but it also is kind of bad because then sometimes you keep people that
You don't want
they don't even
more.
like. Yeah, they're
Yeah.
they're toxic. If they don't, I mean, if they hate Paul,
So I guess it depends on the contract, right?
Yeah.
So you got to have a good contract. Maybe you let
Yep.
me see yours later.
yeah, I have mine. I paid a lot of money for it from
Yeah.
attorneys, so I'll
So
share.
I guess that's where it comes down to, you know. But yeah, that's a possibility. You know, like I said, I don't know what the future holds. I'm just going forward, going to 10 locations.
I'm
and,
just getting excited for you because I'm like, damn, you guys can expand nationwide.
I also thought about doing employee stock, you know, where they all own it, and I start selling stock, but I got to structure the business differently, and then
So
the drivers can own stock, and everybody can own stock.
So I don't know if I don't think you went to Driven 5. So Driven 5 3 years ago, we had Andy Frisilla, we had Ed Milet, Jesse Itzler, Les Brown,
that's a good
and we had Cindy Eckert. So Cindy Eckert, she created a Viagra for women. So that makes women like they go nuts. Yeah, they go nuts. It's a good it was an innovative campaign. She created this pill that you give women, and man,
They go crazy.
You can't get them off of it. Yeah. So
What's it
so
called?
well, I have I'm friends with her. So I visited her. She's actually she's not in. Is she in Atlanta? Or she's somewhere over there. So I went to visit. Is Jesse Itzler in Atlanta? Yeah, right.
Yeah, Jesse's in Atlanta.
Yeah, so I went. Yeah, she's there too. I might be wrong, but she's somewhere around there. But I went to Jesse Itzler's house too. But Cindy Eckert, she created that pill and she sold that company for $1 billion. What she did is she gave every single employee in the company, everybody that worked for the company. So let's say like Wally and everybody else that works here, they get paid 3x their salary. So that was her structure for equity. So she said, if you make $100,000 salary, you're gonna get 300,000. If you make 60 grand, if you're
when she sells.
when she sells, yeah. If you're the receptionist and you make 30 grand a year, you're gonna get 90 grand.
Wow.
So 3x your salary, and she did that for everybody. Everybody got paid. So when they sold the company, she gave everybody 3x, and that's how she did the paperwork.
Wow. So yeah, that's about selling the vision to your team. So, you know, when it
Yeah,
comes,
but that. I mean, that's coming for you because, are you gonna stop and be happy where you are right now? And you said you want to have 10 locations. So with 10 locations, more revenue and all that, you're gonna have to make a decision. Am I gonna sell the company? You're obviously building it to sell anyways, or do I keep it and just maybe open distributions where, in 5 years, you're like, man, you know what? I love the money that I'm making. I like the cash flow, because when you sell, you get a check, but then you don't have the cash flow anymore. So I have a friend, and I'm not going to say his name, but a lot of people can connect the dots. He's going to be here later. He's a billionaire. And he was going to sell his company, and he moved to Nevada. And then he decided, I don't want to sell my company. So he came back to Beverly Hills. And now he said, I just don't want to sell my company because what am I going to do with, all that money? I like my cash flow.
yeah, that's true.
So he just keeps the cash flow.
That's how it is now. I mean, if you spend 2,000, it's gonna come right back next week. But once
Yeah.
you sell the business, hey, that account went down 2,000. It's
Yeah.
not coming back.
Yeah.
So that's the hard part that you got to think about it. So I mean, we're still young, we're still going, we're still motivated. So, I feel like the secret recipe in all this is us. Daniela and me. Because the blueprint's there. People can try to be our competitor, and we have a lot of Latinos now that compete with us 5 minutes away. Because Latinos, they're big on ripple effect. If one Latino's doing it, I'm gonna do it too.
Yeah.
Same as the meat markets. There used to be like a few. Now there's thousands of people that do meat markets.
Yeah.
So roofing suppliers in Georgia, there's a lot of Latinos now doing it. But we still, the secret is us. We know what we have to do. We're charismatic. We treat people well. We treat our employees well. We're good on branding. So I feel like, the sky's the limit, man.
What do you guys have to do to keep growing right now? Like besides more locations?
We need money. I mean, we're also funded, man, but it takes a lot of money to open up new locations. That's where it comes, a lot of money.
Have you thought about raising capital?
We haven't raised capital ever. Something maybe I got to learn, or get a loan from a bank. I've never done any of that.
My private equity guy. So I have masterminds that I do every month. I think you're part of it. You haven't been to it yet though, but So my private equity guy comes. He's gonna be here for this event too. But he teaches you. He gives you the how-tos on how to raise capital, how to plan an exit. He's helped over $50 billion of exits for companies. Yeah. So he knows. And for you, I'm pretty sure he'll tell you, hey, why don't you acquire other smaller competitors that are struggling? Because I'm sure there's a lot of people that want to be like you guys.
Yeah, the Latino ones.
But they're struggling. Like they can't get it to take off. So they're struggling. They might be breaking even, and you might be able to like buy them for nothing, and then you know what to fix. You know, oh, I'm gonna fix it. I'm gonna change this, and that. Boom! Now the revenue's up. You increase the margins.
That's what I thought about expanding to other states. I would do that out of state. But in Georgia, I mean, I don't think I would buy any of my little competitors out, just because there would be I would just be buying inventory. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, but out of state, like if I'm going to Texas, I want to buy. I already know 2 people I want to buy. I talked to them, but they don't want to sell. You know, because the cash is good. People don't want to sell yet. But
Yeah.
I think if I was going to expand out of state, I want to buy people that are already existing, put my systems, my brand, and go from there.
Yeah.
But it's good to know because I never raised capital, so that's where we struggle. You know, sometimes cash flow is tight because another thing we do is we give people credit. So these contractors, you know, 3 jobs can cost them $30,000. They get paid 2 weeks later, a month later. The industry is set up where ABC and all them give these guys credit, in-house credit.
Yeah.
So I have to give them credit too. So sometimes these guys owe me 40, 50K, another guy owes me 80K, and then I got to collect. Now my cash is tight. You know what I mean?
How long does it take you to collect when you give credit?
Man.
So by giving credit, you're not talking about you give them you use a finance company, right?
No, then because no one finances
So
the industry.
you lend them money.
Yeah, for free, because that's how ABC and Beacon have done it for years. You know, because I guess back in the day, contractors didn't have good credit.
So why don't you partner up with a lending company and use their money?
I've tried to look at the furniture companies, all these people that finance tires. You know, no one wants to finance the roofing industry because it's probably high risk. You know what I mean? Because it is a dirty industry. A lot of people have robbed us 30K, 20K. You know, and it's a civil matter. If they were to go to jail, people wouldn't steal, but you got to take them to civil court. It's a crime, but the law doesn't see this side. You know what I mean? So it's tough, and obviously we don't give credit to everyone because we can't. So we lose a lot of business.
So why don't you get like a huge credit line and then use that to like lend money to clients?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I need to start using outside money because we've been self-funded. You know, we haven't had any outside money. I got to learn more about that. You know, because you don't know what you don't know. So
I'll make a few intros for you.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, that can work too. And now we recently got connected with a third party that just got created to help roofers get credit. But then again, they require 2 years of business, $100,000 in revenue. So a lot of the new guys, they don't have that.
Yeah.
So we lose all the new guys. They go to ABC because ABC gives everyone credit. They can afford losses. They need losses because they're a $1 billion company. So they need to report losses. You know what I'm saying? But us,
You're talking about ABC? Is that a real company?
ABC is a big company.
Yeah.
She's the 4th richest woman, Diane Ross. 4th richest woman in America, bro. Crazy. And she owns all her real estate. Look her up. Yeah, ABC Supply. Then SRS.
They only do roof?
They sell roofing, siding, windows.
Oh, okay. They do a lot.
Yeah, and then SRS just sold to Home Depot for like X billions, $18 billion. Home Depot bought a roofing distribution company. That's crazy. And Dan Tinker, you know, I met him. He's a great guy. He's the owner. He's been in my warehouse. It was an honor. Got to talk to him, but it's a cutthroat industry, man. Because all the big guys keep getting bought out, and they buy everyone out because they want to be just them 3.
Yeah.
So,
have you guys thought about like we're gonna hurry up and we're gonna we should hurry up and like grow it in 2 years and sell it? Because what if something happens or not?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. 5 years. I never thought about it, but I was like, all right, 5 years.
What if in 5 years something happens?
5 years something happens. I gotta figure it out. Like everything else, you know what I mean? You don't know the future, but we always figure it out. Like sometimes we get stressed, and then we tell each other we're always gonna figure it out, like we always do, because we always do. We've been in shitholes, and we always figure it out.
So before we close out here, because I want to ask you something about like you mentoring and coaching people, but before that, so you said during in 2020 you guys like took off. Now you started 11 years ago. You know that when you've been in business for over 10 years, you have an 88% chance of continuing to grow, meaning there's only 12% chance that you're going to go out of business right now. There's 12% chance that you don't make it. Once you pass the 10-year mark, you're safe.
Mm-hmm.
There's the 12%, but I mean, you would have to be one of those dummies to fuck it up.
Yeah.
But like in facts, you guys are going to continue to grow and, like you said, figure it out because you've been in business for a decade now. And Cody Sanchez is going to talk about that. That's good. Like Cody Sanchez is going to be good. I don't know if you heard about her.
Yeah, I've heard about her. I'm actually excited. She's here in Yados, man. So I like.
Yados makes millions a month, and he's going to teach us how to have amigas.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, how to be married and have amigas.
Oh, wow, that guy's wild, man.
Yeah. So I don't know if he's going to be a fan favorite for the woman.
Model. I don't think he'll be a good role model.
But I mean, his wife is happy.
Yeah.
You know, his wife is happy, and they have amigas. And then Sale's like, well, I'm gonna have amigos too, and I said no, that's not the way it works. Because Yados teaches that there's only one boss.
Oh Lord,
and the boss is a man. So nada más hay un jefe.
Daniela's making a fist right now.
Yeah. So I don't know, but I mean that's what. So we'll wait to see and hear Yados. So you're gonna learn a lot from this weekend. It's gonna be fun. But going back, so. In the 11 years, did you ever have any scary moments where you're like, shit, I'm not going to be able to make my payments this week, or, oh man, the account is negative. Oh shit, they owe us a lot of money, or lawsuit, like whatever the case can be. Did you ever go through like scary moments?
Yeah, man. So it's scary a lot of times, man. It's more scary than good, because, okay, like you said, lawsuits. We've been hit with lawsuits. We had, workers comp case. We had someone sue us for overtime, so then we got audited by the government, and they interviewed all our employees and checked payroll. Like, we've been through a lot of stuff, and we do get worried sometimes because our customers sometimes are slow to pay, or we're slow to collect, and our cash flow does get tight because we could have 1.5 million in the bank one day, and then we got to pay the supply off, and it goes away. Yeah, so now we got to sell again and get the account fat again, but that's how it goes. The cash flow is in and out because it's so heavy on inventory.
Yeah.
So we always have millions of dollars of inventory on the ground, and we have to pay the suppliers where we got it from back. So, it's a lot of scary days, but we always figure it out.
How many times would you say that if you had like times where you're like, shit, we could go out of business, but we're not, because we're gonna figure it out? But how many scary moments like that have you had? Would you say is it less than 10 or more than 10?
I think
in the 11 years,
once a year. So 11 times, it's where sometimes you're like, man, what the hell am I doing?
Yeah, because most people don't understand that the bigger you grow, the bigger you could fall.
Yeah,
because like right now, like I was talking to Marshall Silver, and that guy is awesome. But he was telling me like the events. So he was telling us there's events that are big. Like you could have 15,000 people in the events, but they're all 99 percenters, meaning they're $67 people, or they're brokies. And when I say brokies, I just want to clarify that I'm not saying brokies because I'm arrogant, I'm better than you, and I want to put you down. I'm saying brokies because you guys don't want to level up and you want to stay stuck being a brokie, and then you pay $67. You come to my mastermind that I used to have before, and they drink a bottle of Veuve Clicquot. So Veuve Clicquot champagne is like $70, $80. So they drink a whole bottle. They already got their $67 worth.
Yeah.
They're here the whole mastermind. They're asking unlimited questions. They eat the appetizers or whatever we have, and then they go and take a picture with Brad Lee, Dan Fleischman, like just people that I bring in here, and then they complain about parking. Oh, parking is $20. And then they get back home, and then they do a chargeback.
Oof.
Like and that's why, like, when you have $67 people, not all of them, because my first seminar I went to see Tony Robbins, I paid $99 because that's all I had, but I leveled up. So like if you're a brokey, I want you to level up.
Yeah.
But most of them don't. So like they're always playing that victim game. Like I'm a victim. I should be entitled. So that's what I mean when I say that. But I don't know why I even got into that. We were talking about what? What did we say?
I have ADD too, man. I don't know. Someone reel us back in.
It was from having any times
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
The billionaire
Yeah.
guy was telling us.
Yeah, so Marshall Silver, yeah, thank you for that. That's good catch. So Marshall Silver's like it's better having an event that we have like 200 people of qualified buyers. Because like we're all here, and let's be real, we're all here. Jason, right? Yeah. We're all here, Jason, Paul, Daniela, because we want to get better and we want to make money. Why is Wally here? Well, we all want to make money. We're not here for free. We're not here to give value and go broke. We're here because we want to get, we want to make $1 million. We want an extra $1 million, or maybe get an idea for $1 billion, right? Because there's some billionaires that are going to be here today. Now, if we want to do that, then we want to have we would rather have 200 qualified buyers, and it could be a buyer, it could be a partner, it could be just a qualified person you're going to do business with, versus having 2,000 people that they're not qualified. They're going to be what I said. They're just going to complain. They're whine and chargebacks, whatever. So he said that the big event companies, those big event companies that are doing like big events with multiple thousands of people every month, he said that those companies are struggling right now because they have so much overhead, so much expenses, so many ads they have to run to keep bringing in all those people. So it's like they're spending more money than making more money. And he said the companies that have the qualified buyers, those are the ones that are making the most money because the margins are way higher. So it explains a lot. It's very important to know that. So when you grow every year and you're growing bigger, you have other kinds of problems. One of my friends, he's like, I was telling him, hey, I have these problems. Look, I have like, I'm talking about like not even $100 million problems. And he's telling me I have billionaire problems. Like your problems like pale in comparison to mine. And he shows me, look, I just started the year and I already owe 26 million. Here's my invoice. Yeah. Why? Because he got 2 lawsuits that totaled to 26 million. Wow. And now he has to go to court and fight. And so, but worst case scenario, he said this is how he fixes that problem. He's like, worst case scenario, I'm gonna win this, but it's gonna cost me 7 million more or less. So I gotta get 7 million, transfer it to this account, and then let the whole process begin. Wow. And I lost 7 million like that.
Yeah, I mean, more money, more problems. That's facts. Yeah. I mean, I remember first time we got hit with the IRS bill, it was like 250,000, the most I ever paid. I was like, and what's your bill, Daniela? 250 as well. 500. That's when I was like, bro, I gotta get out of. I gotta find out what the rich are doing to not pay this. So then I went to go see Ryan Pineda, and he taught me cost segregation. So ever since then, I've been on a mission to figure out how to preserve my wealth, because I'm making more money, but hey, the government's taking all of it. How's that fair? You know what I'm saying? So it's about getting out of your comfort zone, because when you're first generation of money, you can't ask your dad. I don't have any friends that are above me. Yeah. So I'm here, with Albert now, hopefully getting some gems from Albert, asking him questions, and that's what you got to do. You got to get out.
Did you buy real estate?
I bought real estate. Yeah.
Yeah. Did you guys just start, or do you guys have a few?
So we've had rental properties, single family, and now we're getting into commercial. So we have a few.
Did you do any bonus depreciation?
We did the whole cost segregation thing where they break down the tree, the roof, the cabinets, all that. So that helps a lot. So that was a
Grant bought a jet just to not pay taxes.
Yeah.
But moving forward here to close out. So you have a lot to teach. Can you teach anybody how to do the same thing you guys are doing? Because like if let's say Wally wants to be a roofer, and he's like, I want to be a roofer because he's been here on the other masterminds, and these guys are making 6 million, 5 million, 10 million. But then now Wally's like, you know what? Well, if you borrowed $5,000 and you built this like
now you need a
huge company that's almost close to 100 million in revenue, and you're a supplier, not a roofer, then maybe he wants to be a supplier. Can you teach Wally or other people like, hey, this is how you become a supplier and this is how you make 100 million?
I feel like if I were to ever teach anyone to be a supplier, I would have to have exited already. Yeah. While I'm in it, I won't, just because I need to create, I need to grow my brand and exit. So I've had people approach me now just because they see the success. But before, no one was talking to me. Like now, even customers are telling me, "Oh, I have a couple thousand. Can I invest with you?" Like you weren't there when I needed the money. Now you see the success, and now you want to help. And like I said, it's a cutthroat industry. There's barely any players in it, you know. So once I exit, I'll be able to teach people how to do distribution. But right now, I feel like it's too cutthroat of an industry. If you're from Michigan and you call me, you want me to help you do a supply, I'd rather partner up with you now, like you said, versus teaching you how to do it, because I want to grow my preferred brand.
Yeah.
So, but I feel like I can teach others how to run any logistical business that requires distribution, like grass, concrete, anything, because I know the systems, how to check orders, how to load trucks, how to make sure a truck gets there on time,
Yeah.
you know.
Well, let me ask you a question, Daniela. Would a couple $100,000 a month net hurt? Like if you just collect a couple $100,000 net every month?
No, it wouldn't hurt. So that's why I'm thinking about coaching, but I would do more
But you
business.
so you guys have been in business for 11 years. So that's over a decade. You're making the money. I think you guys should consider that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you have Yados. He's making $1 million a month, and he's a coach. Wes Watson, I'm sure you've met him. Yeah, makes a couple million a month, and no overhead, no lawsuits. I mean, they could get sued for other stuff, but no lawsuits, no overhead, no headaches, no payroll, no. They don't have any of those problems.
Yeah.
No margins, really. Like, what are the margins? Maybe an assistant and videographer.
Yeah.
So like that space is not going anywhere. It's big and it's growing. And I noticed that even billionaires are getting into the coaching space because it's just like extra money.
So I'm definitely going to be a coach one day. You know, it's bound to happen. I get hit. People ask me questions all the time, but sometimes I don't have the time to reply, you know. So eventually I'm going to have to, you know, people ask me, hey, I want to grow my landscaping business, my painting business, my roofing business. And I do feel like I can serve all these because what I know in business can apply to their business as well. Right. So eventually I am going to be a coach to people, you know, and I am going to charge because I don't have time to go eat with everyone. Everyone wants to go eat. I don't have time to go eat with them. So I'm going to have to charge to go eat with them.
Yeah, no, we'll get it done. We'll get it done. And then once we get it done in the next couple of weeks, when people want to reach out to you, they want to know more about you, maybe they want to join the company or be a client, future coaching client too, like where can people follow you and reach you?
Guys, follow me at Don Pablo's Life. I'm on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube, and my company's called Preferred Roofing Supply in Georgia. Check me out. My wife is Daniela Salamanca. She's on Instagram as well. Great leader for women. And yeah, guys, thank you, Albert, for having me. I look up to Albert. You know, he's one of the only Latinos that's really dominant. And, you know, now you got Yados, but Albert's one of the pioneers. And I guess you could say I'm trying to be like Albert.
No, bro. So I'm going to call you the 100 million man. So here's a 100 million man.
Soon.
From El Salvador.
Yes,
Proud
sir.
of you, brother.
Thank you, man. Thank you for having me.